Hey guys, and welcome to a chapter 15 clear full guide video and all that jazz in depth for you that are struggling with this map because this is the latest content and it is very hard. I'm still working on getting my Houston 2 drop as well as getting around to 3-starring 15-3 because I've been farming 15-4 all the time and I haven't gotten around to 15-3, so we'll worry about that once I get the Houston 2 drop. But I do want to make a video for it. Things how as a lot of people, including myself, was having a very hard time with this map. So with that being said, let's get this started. So the first thing I want you guys to know is that this map is very ship oriented. You must have specific characters to make this map experience not as painful. It's very strict. If there were a meta established as of right now, this one is definitely going to be tight. Definitely going to be tight on that end. So with that being said, let's get right into ship choices. So as of right now, the best way for me to categorize this for you guys is in certain categories. So I'm not going to list all of them, but we'll put in categories on the screen for you guys to see in particular which options are very good and which options they should bring in, like side options as well too and all that jazz. So DD, there are a couple choices with DDs here if you guys want to use them. I think the Allen sisters, Enneagram, Bristol, Allen are definitely okay choice here. There are some submarines in the later maps, specifically 15-3 and 15-4. That's very difficult to just work with, so you can use them. I still like Kazugumo here. She definitely has the air raid assistance as well as the heal for your backline, so always solid choice there. And I guess the HMS girl too, like Janice and Jervis, can work as well too, but you don't have to bring them. You only need one DD, and even then you don't need DDs as much. But it's nice to have at least one DD if possible because there are those submarines. These maps, and it sucks. It's basically a combination of chapter 13 and 14, and hate it. So those are some solid options right there. And of course, KimoCheese, if you guys have her, and Udachi as well too, because they have UR and they have UR stats. So light cruisers right here, there are a lot of good options for light cruisers. So if you guys don't know, just sort by anti-air. And to give you guys a general heads up on what's the good ones, San Diego still very good for anti-air stuff. Again, she's the queen of it. Can't really go wrong with bringing San Diego here. Two new options that are very good as well too is Scylla and Shimanto. These two girls together are very powerful because Scylla can buff your anti-air for your Vanguard when she has her passive stacks by 25%. That's actually a lot. And Shimanto right here is just an anti-air goddess. Like everything she does right here, increased anti-air gun, it's so good. Like Shimanto Scylla, the double S combo is so powerful. You guys have both of them in your roster. And if you guys don't have them, there are some other options as well too. Voroshiov or whatever, that recent Russian light cruiser, also a solid option as well too for anti-air purposes. There are some niche ones as well too. I think Harbin could work. Also Suzu, like memes aside, I love the Maya Suzu for this occasion. She was okay, not the best, but that could definitely work as well too. Rika with her 5 AA auxiliary thing can also work as well too. If you guys are running KMS, Majberg and Regensburg is also solid as well too for anti-air. So a lot of good options here. I just listed out a few of them that you guys can use, but there are a couple options for light cruisers that you guys can use. Seattle as well too. Forgot about Seattle. Another good option right there as well too. But a couple good anti-air options, can't really go wrong with it. Now heavy cruiser right here. There are some slots for heavy cruisers if you guys want to use some. I use Hindenburg for a while. Again, she has no anti-air, but her damage output is amazing. Can definitely work out. Anchorage, a very tanky heavy cruiser. Again, can't go wrong with it. Cheshire has a lot of anti-air, but she's not that tanky. So if you guys want to have her as a main tank, I would advise against that because she's not that durable. If you want an actual durable tank, Anchorage is the better option for that department. And I think that's it for heavy cruiser though. You can bring something like Baltimore stuff as well too, but for survivability purposes, I say Anchorage is a much better choice, and Cheshire for anti-air and a little bit of durability as well too. Again, PR ships. Now, when it comes to large cruisers, some are optionally good here. Brest is all of a sudden crazy. By the way, shout out to me last year. I predicted Brest to be very good in chapter 15. I said it was copium, but alas, definitely is a good contender for the fourth slot. I put her over Azuma mainly because of her sustainability. We don't know how difficult World 15 is going to be once it comes out. And even though people say copium, I really do believe that Brest is going to be a really good ship there. I'm going to use my Brest. Again, weird way of saying it. I'm going to use my Brest for World 15. A very good ship. I'm actually very proud. I said that myself. I can't believe I even did that. Absolutely crazy. E-Girl can actually work here as well too if you guys want to use her. And I think we had one more large cruiser, or maybe I'm trolling. Not a fan of the other ones though, but it can definitely bring something else too. But as of right now though, Brest and E-Girl are definitely good large cruiser choices here. Definitely. Now when it comes to battleships, there are many good options. New Jersey, Musashi, and Bismarck 2 are all three very solid options. Ultra rare battleships, very good. Now if you guys don't have a lot of ultra rare battleships, there are also good side options as well too. Georgia has a little bit of anti-air, very solid there. You can also bring in what's that one collab ship, if I have her somewhere, Hanukkah, also a solid option as well too. Very good for healing. So again, this is a very healing based map, so another very solid option is there as well too. And I'm pretty sure there's a few other ones, but as of right now, on top of my head, you kind of want to use ultra rares because you need that wave clearing power, and ultra rare battleships brings in a lot of that firepower that you guys may need if you guys are not fully geared up for dealing with chapter 15. So those are just some options right there. But the bigger impact though than battleships are going to be your carriers. There are many good options here. So for damage purposes, we're going to talk about the ones that you should use. You can bring in the Foxes, Hakuryu, and Shinano. Those are solid options. You can bring in USS carriers as well too, which I did. Yorktown 2 Enterprise, also very good. And if you guys want to bring in HMS carriers, also can work. Indomitable, Illustrious, very solid options. Implacable as well too. Very good options here. Now, healers. There are a lot of good aircraft healers and light aircraft healers. I'm not going to list all of them. There's a lot as of right now, but just list a couple. Unicorn, Perseus are obvious. A Unicorn is a little bit better here depending on your team comp. Another good healer is Aquila, if I can find her somewhere in here, somewhere in this mess. Aquila, also very good. Make sure you go double fighters on her to get the healing benefits. Very good. Volga is also another good healer as well too. She recovers HP equal to 5% of their max HP. Very solid. Pain LaVey, I probably butchered that name, but it is what it is. Also another solid option. Good heals. Very heal intensive. So again, this is a very heal oriented map. You kind of want to bring those ships around. And if you guys have access to collab ships, Ryuho is also solid as well too. Collab ships, I think people are using Claudia right now. If you have her whatchamacallit, this thing right here, well, this is not the one I'm talking about. It's one of these things that heals HP or whatever, or maybe it's just her skill. Maybe it's one of these things that gives heal. I think it's this skill, Blessed Melody. You get heals. Heals are very important for this map, so those are solid options there to bring. That's it. So submarine stuff, repair ships, bring whatever you guys want for those. I wouldn't bring repair though, but submarines, bring your best subs, and you are good to go. Now, when it comes to team composition, we're gonna have to get very strict here. So my team composition that right now I use is primarily this. I'll show it to you guys in the big map right here. Keep in mind that my mob fleet and my boss fleet are not the best setups, but it's what works for me because I'm flying 15-4 right now. But what I used in my initial clear was I had Musashi, well, at least for 15-4, Musashi, Perseus, Aquila, no Brest. I had Kazuguma because I need to do ASW, Scylla, and Shimanto. That worked out for me. Again, you got to play manual, but it does work out. And as for my boss fleet, I went USS, And I went New Jersey for the mixed damage, as well as high anti-air with the San Diego, survivability with the Anchorage, and a little bit more damage for the backline and for Plymouth herself, just to smack the boss around, all that jazz. Now there is a support fleet right here. I think everyone's using the same thing. Personally, when I first did this, I just tossed in like, okay, what ships have 2 fighter slots? I just use those. Illustrious, Indomitable, and Implacable are what people are using a lot of, so that's actually really nice. Now, when it comes to support slots, you guys can fill these up with whatever you want. I think as of right now, people are filling it with like some purple anti-air fighters or the Russian ones right here. These can work as well too. Personally, I'm running the Hellcats, or these things right here. These are also very good options if you guys don't have the German ones invested into. Again, it costs like 3K to invest into those. So if you guys don't want to do that, you can use Hellcats and Corsairs. Those work absolutely well, well as well. Again, only the fighter slots. So these right here, ignore the torpedo bombers. I just tossed them in there. But you want to make sure you have Hellcats, Messers, or whatever anti-air fighters you guys are using in these fighter slots right here. The options as of right now that are best are probably the HMS ones: Illustrious, Implacable, and Formidable, or not Formidable, Indomitable, and then just toss in the fighter slots to all of these right here. See, same thing across all these ships. But yeah, that's how to do team compositions. Now, if you guys want to get really deep into it, I think as of right now, everyone's running like double healer comps. So if you guys don't want to do this one, you guys can do like, I don't know, Pain LeVay, if I can find her somewhere, Light Carrier or something like that. This is also a solid option as well too. Boss oriented, you get some more heals out of it, so like Pain LeVay and like some other kind of healer like Volga. A lot of people are doing this because of survivability is a big thing about this map. It's not just all about damage, it's all about heals as well too. This can actually work out. Well, I picked the wrong ship. Where's my Volga? She's somewhere here. So you can work that. I think someone used Imperil as well too. Shout out to that guy. Imperil can definitely work out as well. A lot of good options here that I can use. Just make sure it's about survivability, a lot of heals, and you should be good to go. Another important aspect are cats. So cats, you really don't get much content in this game, but if you guys are going to use cats for this specific content, I highly recommend you guys use cats with, if I can find this right here, Mountain's Tenacity, because that skill is actually very good. But when it comes to this kind of content, because we're going to be taking a lot of damage, so you guys want to make sure you have as much as possible. Finding cats, no, I have one here somewhere. I'm using it. It gives Mountain's Tenacity. Is actually very. There it is. You guys have Mountain's Tenacity. It's actually really good because your whole fleet takes 3% less damage, and it stacks the other one as well. So you have 6% damage reduction when it comes to 130 content, and we're down 10 level or 5 levels. That makes it so we only take 4% more damage from the enemy. It's actually so good. So highly recommend if you guys have Mountain's Tenacity, put those in because it's going to be very nice. Now, obviously, the other stats have to make sense too, like anti-air, all that jazz, but this is the kind of cat I would bring to Chapter 15 because, again, anti-air, Mountain's Tenacity, and some damage as well too. Very good cat to bring to Chapter 15. Alright, now we're going to get into gearing. So gearing is going to be a long process of this. I'm not going to get super in detail with it. I'll tell you guys what to bring for the most part to make your life a much better experience. So the most important gearing in this setup is going to be your mob, because your mob is going to do most of the fighting. In this case, I gear my mob the way as followed. Make sure you guys have good anti-air at plus 10 or higher, specifically 13 of you guys can. I have a lot of UR anti-airs made. I have about 6 of these, or 5 of these, or I don't know, actually 6, made at plus 13. You guys don't have to make them at plus 13 if you guys don't have any of these lying around, but you should try to make them. These type of bulk force work as well too. Plus 10 is okay, but ideally you want to have plus 13. Make sure you have the most anti-air possible to have a much easier time. Now, when it comes to light cruiser damage, I like the Seattle gun because high explosive is very good for mob clearing, and get a little bit of anti-air with the 15 that's on the Seattle gun. Very solid. Now, as for auxiliaries, I always equip a high-performance air radar on every one of my vanguards, as well as a hydraulics steer washing machine for a little bit more survivability. Same thing across for my Shinmanto as well too. And breast is a little bit of a durability with the anti-air and the air radar high performance. Now, when it comes to my backline right here, gear your battleships for speed. I should be using a auto reload right now for more reload, for more clearing, but make sure they have at least a fire control radar to get more speed, a good high explosive gun because there's gonna be a lot of trash mobs, and a very, very good anti-air. Don't go Dido AA or don't go the Stag Bofers because damage is not important here. Survivability is, and survivability primarily is through anti-air for this map. So make sure you have a very, very good anti-air. Now, when it comes to carriers, make sure if they have a fighter and a torpedo bomber slot, you go Corsair and you go Wyverns. This is going to make your life much easier because Corsairs increase your entire fleet's anti-air by 5% for 8 seconds when the carrier is using this aircraft launches in an airstrike. And Wyverns, you guys don't see it here, but it has a special ability where it intercepts planes. So it's like a pseudo fighter. Having both of these combined together is a very, very good combo when it comes to anti-air stuff. And make sure they have a homing beacon as well too, so they get more airstrikes out. More airstrikes means more heals. More heals means more damage. More damage means more faster wave clearing to get through your mob fights. So that's a combo I like to run. You guys can just copy it. For my Aquila though, double fighters and a Wyvern, again, Corsair, Wyvern, Core, and a homing beacon to just get more airstrikes out for more heals and more damage. Now, my boss fleet, nothing crazy here. Primarily, I wasn't using this one. I was using Enterprise and Yorktown 2. But again, same gearing for these two as well too. Corsair and Wyverns, with a little bit of speed as well too. Same thing on both. Most of my damage is going to be primarily through the 10 rise, but again, a little bit more damage from the Corsairs. Can't go wrong with it. And homing beacon as well too. Now, for my battleship, New Jersey, I went with heavy anti-air focus and speed. Again, fire control radar and a 457 for more speed damage. Now, Anchorage, I built for survivability as well too. Fast torpedo, good gun, anti-air, and anti-air radar. So, survivability right there. And San Diego, make sure you guys are bringing her. I have the triple rainbow set up, but this gun right here, again, you want to give her a DD gun to proc her anti-air stuff much faster and allow assault. And we have the anti-air right here. So she can just smack all the planes by herself if needed. And one air radar, again, for Vanguard stuff. And Dido, or not Dido, Plymouth. Same thing here, nothing crazy. Pretty much the same thing, just anti-air and a high-performance air radar as well, too, for a little bit more anti-air. Okay? And then submarines, just do whatever you guys want. Do both things. And that's usually how I gear my ships. Survivability is important, so heals, protection, anti-air, and you guys should be okay. Right, so now that we took care of the fleets, the ships, and the gearing, it's time to talk about the maps in Chapter 15. So, for Chapter 15, 1 is about the same difficulty as Chapter 13 hard. If you guys have done Chapter 13 hard, you should be able to do 15-1 with no problems. This map is not scary. Very, very easy map. Think of it as a little bit difficult compared to 13-4. The normal version. Again, it's not that scary. If you have normal AA stuff, just go in, blast it. It's going to be very, very easy. Very, very easy. Just a simple anti-air team with some carriers. Make sure as well that you guys have this right here, airspace control. Make sure your recon value and your current ACV are higher than the minimum right here to get maximum benefits from this map. So when I go inside, I will have air supremacy, which is what you guys want. I think it tells you exactly what it does right here, but air supremacy means you have absolute control of the field and you have like damage reduction, all that jazz. It's just very, very good right here. The damage of your fleet's airstrike is increased by 20%, and the damage your fleet takes from an enemy aircraft is decreased by 10%. You want to make sure you have this, and in order to have this, you must have this value right here maxed out that they tell you in the airspace control. Best way to fill this up is with lot carriers. So 1 carrier, 2 carriers, 3 carriers, and 4 carriers to fill this up. 3 can do it as well too, but just make sure they're high stats. Otherwise, 4 is minimum to clear this. And recon value is probably like this, like DD stuff, but that's not hard to fill at all. Let's go ahead and do that, and you guys should be good to go. Now, when we go into 15-1, I'm not sure if it has it in this map or whatever. It shouldn't. Oh, it does. So you're going to see this little node right here, this little green node. It's going to be blockade most of the time by like level 3 Vanguard nodes. you have to rush this down. What I mean by this is if we were going to battle right now, I'll show it to you guys an example. And you guys can see my supporting fleet as well here. They're going to help out. Watch this. All right, we're going to do auto battle for a bit, but I'll show you guys what it does. So as this battle starts, you're going to see two things. It's going to say ally air support and enemy air support. So you see all these planes right here coming from the enemy, but we also have planes coming from these backline as well too. You see these blue planes right here in the background? They are coming from my support. My illustrious, my indomitable, and my implacable are helping out. Even though you don't see them on the field, they are helping out in my entire battles by just summoning air support to take care of the planes in the air. So by doing that, the enemies are also doing the same thing, and they're trying to push to clear all this as well too. Now I'm not gonna waste oil for this because I need the oil farm, but once you knock this out, you gotta go for this right away, absolutely right away. And also another mechanic as well too is if you guys want to maximize, like these things are too hard for you, what you can do is you got two controls right here. You have this right here, the movement, and you have the bomb right here. So the bomb right here is a 2x5. Anything within this vicinity takes damage if you were to hit launch airstrike, and it does damage around here. One important thing is if you want to maximize your damage output on these things is to get as many enemies within that 5x2 as much as possible. So in this case right here, I have 3 nodes right here. I'll make sure they all get hit. I'm gonna click that, click this, or you can click this as well too. We'll do this right here. Move it down. So just click it once, click down, confirm, and it gets bumped down. By doing this, I hit this right here, like you guys can see, little button, click that, boom. Now all 3 of these enemies can get hit. So we hit launch airstrike, boom, 10% damage gone from every single mob within that field. And this also stacks with submarines. So if I were to move my submarines, say like right here, and then we do a little bit of movement, we click that for attack mode, we do that, wait for submarines, boom, another 17%. Now we have 10% plus 17%, 27% health gone from every single mob in that node. It stacks with it. It's very, very nice. It makes your life much, much easier for wave clearing. A very good mechanic to learn from that. So that's basically it for 15.1. Those are just simple mechanics. Again, it's a very, very easy map. Just go for the green node first, knock that out, go for the boss, and you're good to go. 15.2, also the same thing. Just a little bit higher enemies, but again, a very, very easy map. Go in, go for the green node in whatever corner this is. In this case, it's the bottom right corner, and just knock it out. Go for that first. The enemy stops getting air support. Makes your life much easier for clearing all these other mobs. And then once again, move that down. Do that. Hit airstrike. All 3 nodes gets hit right here. Boom. Maximum benefits. Move my sub as well too for extra damage, and you're good to go. Now, if you guys are trying to 3-star these maps, try to get a good start. And a good start essentially means getting as little level 3 as possible. So there's like 2 level 3s right here, level 2, level 2, level 2. This is actually a good spawn right here because if you get level 3 spawns, more waves, more enemies. If you guys don't know, level 2s have 4 waves. Level 3s have 5 waves, and level 1 has 3 waves. Much more longer compared to previous nodes. I don't know why I did it this way, just to make it harder for some reason. But you want to avoid level 3 fights because it takes long, it takes a lot of resources, and they may kill you or do a lot of damage to you to the point where like it's hard to recover at that point. So avoid level 3 as much as possible. Try to farm as many level 3s, level 2 as possible, and just keep resetting the maps, and you guys should be okay. So that's 15.2. All right, 15.3. This is where it gets a little bit complicated. Now, 15.3 is basically, it's those 3 maps. They get very, very annoying, and I'm not gonna, it's gonna be pain. This is where the difficulty of the map spikes up like crazy. So once again, we have a level thingamabob in the top right corner, or top left corner. Take it out immediately, and so forth. Now, I don't have a clip for this. So I'll show ahead and show a previous clip from one of my recordings though. But after a while, you're going to get a boss spawn. Now, don't be fooled. Don't take your main boss to this node, because what happens is after you beat this node, you're gonna get a debuff, and that debuff is gonna be very, very scary going towards your second boss fight because you take more damage and you do less damage as well too. So the strategy for these kind of nodes is to send your mob fleet to go into it, so they take the debuff afterwards, and then you send your boss fleet to the final spawn, so they don't get the debuff and they can do maximum damage. This is why I tell you guys you should put heavy, heavy, heavy emphasis on gearing and putting your best ships in the mob fleet because they have to do a lot of the fights. You're doing about 8+ fights each run at 15 and 15-3 and 15-4 for your mob fleets. Make sure they're properly geared up. Okay, so the strategy is send your mob fleet to the boss fleet first, and then the second spawn for 15-3, send the boss fleet to make your life much easier. All right, so that's the quick mechanic from 15-3. 15-4 is basically the same thing. The only difference is that the boss this time retreats twice. So you got to fight the boss 3 times. Meaning in this case, your mob fleet has to fight it twice, and the boss fleet fights at the end. So your mob fleet is going to be doing a lot of the grunt work this time around because it has to fight the boss twice. And the second encounterment is going to be debuff. So you got to be very, very careful. Luckily, you have the ammo node here. And if you guys don't already know, you get a damage increase if you have more than 4 out of 5 ammo. So every time you guys do a fight, let's say you go here, do a fight, grab this ammo node until it runs out to make sure you have this adequate ammo buff. All right, never go below 4 out of 5 ammo on your mob fleet until the ammunition runs out. To maximize that 10% damage increase, it's going to help you guys out a lot. A lot. So that's basically the map stuff for 15-4. Nothing that crazy. It's this boss retreats twice and then you fight it, and that's all there is to it. Now there are some mechanics when it comes to gameplay that I've explained many times. Saving your barrages, saving your volleys, timing your airstrikes to interrupt torpedoes and enemy salvos so you can dodge attacks. Taking suicide bombers to your vanguards. There are a lot of mechanics that you guys should learn from my previous videos. If you guys don't already know, watch my chapter 14. I go into details about game mechanics that helps you out if you guys are playing manual. Again, I highly advise playing manual when you first do this because you can ignore a lot of the RNG aspect of combat by just dodging with your fingers. Simple as that. So I highly advise doing manual game. Otherwise though, this whole chapter is a big team check. You have to have specific characters. You have to have healers. You have to have a lot of these things, and it's just rough. Don't bring level 120 ships. It's gonna make your life much harder than it actually is. Just run a lot of carriers. Run a lot of healers as well too. Run good vanguards with good anti-air, and the damage will come naturally. Don't try to go full damage like I do and just have a miserable time the first time around. Bring a proper team setup. Bring a lot of anti-air, carrier healers, and as. So I think that covers everything. Air support is just extra damage. Again, they don't do anything. They just help protect you the entire time as you clear the map. And that's pretty much it. So no new mechanics this time around. Just air support. The nukes that you summon in the fights. I'll go ahead and show it to you guys once again. Just the nukes that you summon right here. And then movement. Go for these green nodes, and that's basically all there is. And once again, I'm gonna tell you guys, if you see a lot of low 3 nodes, don't be scared to reset. It costs 10 oil to get another start. Once again, don't be scared. Okay, so again, look at this. Oh, I see low 3s. I don't want to fight this. I just retreat. Keep going in back and forth until you get a very good spawn. All right, so for 15-4, since a lot of us are gonna be here, what I usually look for when it comes to 15-4 is the bottom left corner, because the bottom left corner means if you guys want to do this way, what I usually do is I send my submarines to hit this once, hit this twice. So like move here, move that, hit this, and hit that. So it's 3. And then I use my tactical airstrike right here. So I'll show you guys what I mean if I were to do this for a good node right here. So that's like 2 little 2s. I can actually do this because safe mode, but I want to look for at least two of these down here because this lets me airstrike like that. Boom. I get all of them in one go. But nowadays, though, I just airstrike this because I'm too lazy to use submarine, stay some oil, and then just get free damage on the 2 annoying nodes, and do my mob here, mob there, boss spawns right here, do my boss with my mob fleet, and then my next 2, I do mob. Make sure you do level 2s at this point. Do the low level ones possible. Don't go for level 3s. Hit the second boss like somewhere right here, and then for the last one, if I see level 2, just do that. I'm good to go. Make sure you have the ammo, adequate ammo buff as always, and you should be good to go. I have my clears already. I don't know what else to explain with this kind of content. By now, if you guys are in chapter 15, you guys should be able to build proper fleets. It's just anti-air, healers, carriers. There's all there is to it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully that helps you guys out. If you guys have questions or anything, let me know. I'm still learning about this whole chapter 15 stuff as well too, like how air support works entirely, like their damage, their gear, if this of having auxiliaries helps out their damage or whatever, and all that jazz, team compositions. I'm still learning as well too, but I'm giving you guys a general guide on how to do chapter 15, because if you guys are struggling right now, I know how annoying it is to be stuck on something for a very, very long time. I'm hoping this video will help you guys out, just give you guys some kind of edge over this content, because it is very, very annoying if you guys don't have a proper setup. So I can completely understand. Anyways, thank you guys for watching as always. Again, questions in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.